Hello everyone, my name is Mackenzie and this is my attempt at a little video manifesto, so sit back and enjoy. In this video I will be talking about technology. Technology is a big thing in today's world. You are currently on some sort of technological platform that is allowing you to watch this video. I will be specifically talking about how technology can be used to make people more empowered, aware, and in control. I will be going through how this can be used in similar ways but different places, so in individuals, corporations, and in policy level interventions. So, starting with individual and going with empower. On an individual level, technology can be empowering. It allows you to take part in things even if you can't physically be there. It can be bigger things like how things like graduation are now streamed, so that even if you cannot physically be there, it makes you feel like you still get to be in the moment. Like, for example, my mom isn't really mobile and used to miss church a lot, so they started live streaming every Sunday. And the pastor would check the comments and talk to people through that, so she still felt included and like she was part of her community. Or even something as simple as getting to game with your friends online. You might not be able to be with them physically, but you're there with them. And then moving on to aware in individuals. It allows you to be more aware, being able to know what's going on and allowing friends and family to contact you more easily, so you can always know what's going on. You can send a simple text to a friend if something big is happening, or you can post it so everyone who follows you or is friends with you will know what's going on in your life. And then there's being in control. Unfortunately, in today's digital age, it has become increasingly difficult to maintain full control over personal information and online presence. Once something is posted online, it is essentially out there for anyone to see, and it can be very challenging to take it back or undo its existence. The loss of control can feel overwhelming, especially as technology continues to evolve and shape the way we interact with the world. However, there are still smaller, manageable ways that we can retain some sense of control over what happens in our online spaces. Personally, I take several steps to ensure my privacy and security. For example, I make sure to set all my social media platforms to private, limiting access to my posts and information to only those I choose. I also use different strong passwords for each platform, and I make a habit of changing them regularly to add an extra layer of security. Taking these steps allows me to feel more in control of my online life, knowing that random people cannot easily follow me or gain access to my content. It also gives me the ability to monitor who is trying to follow me or view what I post, ensuring that only those I trust, hopefully, have that access. These measures may not provide complete protection, but they offer a sense of reassurance in an otherwise unpredictable digital world. I also found this wonderful little study that talks about a teletypewriter. The people who did it will be on the screen along as a reference, just because I don't want to say their names wrong. But a teletypewriter is a device that is used by people with a speech or hearing disability. It allows them to type out their message and have it be read off to the person on the other end of the phone. While the study was smaller, it did show how just having this tool can be empowering and let people be in more control. Now, this is a direct quote from the study. The TTY has clearly contributed to giving our participants a sense of control and independence by being able to make calls themselves both to other deaf and hearing persons. They were able to control not only when and where the calls were made, but also the accuracy and privacy of the messages. So, while this was made for a specific community, it's still very useful, and it's something so simple that can be so helpful for many people. Now, moving on to corporations, starting with empowered again. They easily can put their stuff out on the web. Making a website can be cheap or even free, so these corporations can make websites for people to go to easily. Or they make a social media post to get engagement with their product. So it's like how you see corporations who have Instagram pages where you can find about if they have new deals or if there's a sale going on. It's also the same as when you see influencers promoting their stuff. Those influencers don't necessarily like the product or even use it in real life, but they're paid to use it. to show it off, to make people want it more. Moving on to aware. The use of technology lets the company see what is being bought and how many people look at something, how many clicks a website gets. They also get to know which of their products is being the most popular, like who's buying what and when. They also know where things are being shipped to. They can even see what demographic is buying from them. This allows them to make ads more personal for people based off that info. So that's why a lot more shoe ads are usually targeted towards women, because it's just that's what they see buying it more. So yeah, just simple little things like that. Like when you see an item being pushed because, oh, everybody's buying this. They know that from data they've collected. And then moving on to control. They have the money to control where their shops or websites can be seen. Like Amazon pays for the rec to be one of the first things you see when you look for a product. Anyone can do this. And corporations use this to be able to push their products. Like a girl in my class talked about how she once paid Facebook to push her dog grooming business. And she said that it got her more views and clicks and shares because she paid Facebook to put that on people's For You page. This is also why when I searched up for a book, the first thing that comes up is Amazon. If Amazon has it, they'll be the first website you see that comes up where you can buy it because they paid to have that right. So, moving on to policy level interventions, and we gotta start with Empower again. Gotta keep that theme going. So, one of the things they do is data collection and analytics, which is when data is collected, patterns are found, which allows them to see how changes are being made or what's happening most often, even if the pattern's not that important to maybe the standard person. And then there's enhanced communication. I found this through smart cities. They use smart cities can be implemented so that smart solutions in areas like traffic management and waste management and energy consumption. For example, smart traffic systems can optimize traffic flow and reduce congestions, which is a policy intervention for urban mobility. Kind of like if you use the GPS on your phone, it lets you know if there's traffic. It detects other people's phones and bases off of that. So if there's a bunch of phones in one area on one road, it thinks it's extremely busy. So my map will turn the road yellow if it's kind of busy or red if it's super busy. And the road's almost always red when I have to drive through the city. And then moving on to e-government services. This technology empowers governments to deliver services more efficiently through digital platforms. E-government solutions make it easier for citizens to access services like filing taxes, applying for permits, or registering for benefits. It can increase efficiency and ensure equitable access to services. So if someone isn't mobile enough to be able to just go in and do their taxes, they can do it over the phone. Like how I don't have to worry about my mail getting lost when it's tax season because I have it emailed to me. So I'm able to just send out that email to the person doing my taxes, and then they can just email me back giving a simple, yep, that's perfect, or we need form XYZ. Can you send that over to me? And it's a very fast process without the delay of sending in the mail or having to worry about going in person, especially if it's not very nice out. I know it snows here a lot. Like when it was tax season here, I was still plowing snow for work, so I definitely did not want to go out in that and have to deal with all the snow and the slush. But yeah, it's just simple, small things like that we don't really think about anymore as they become more integrated into our lives. And then we're moving on to aware. So the big theme I saw here was crisis management, which is emergency response systems. So during crises, like natural disasters or pandemics like the one we just had, or it feels like we just had it, technology enables rapid communication and coordination of emergency responses. For instance, mobile apps and communication systems can notify the public about evacuation routes, shelter locations, and available healthcare facilities. This is like the loud noise that the phone makes whenever we get alert about something, like when there were fires. It would tell you where the fire was heading, what location was being evacuated, and what locations should be prepared to be evacuated. I remember that was pretty scary when the fires were going, and that's all I heard all the time was the phones going off, and everybody would look to see if they needed to start packing or to get ready. I wasn't too close, but I had a lot of friends who were. So hearing from them that that their one way of knowing immediately they had to leave was their phone blaring at like 4 in the morning was pretty scary. It can also say things like when a bridge is broken or torn down, or something as small as a full road closure if it's a main road. And this is very helpful during evacuation, so people know to avoid that. I remember one went off even as small as when there was a stabbing happening, but it was such a big deal that the phones went off because the government wanted everybody to know that it was happening and that it was very important for everybody to know. So it just keeps people aware in a policy level intervention kind of way. So, for control, based on what I said, it gives them control over many things. And unfortunately, like a lot of things, if used negatively, it can be harmful to people. While there are so many wonderful ways to use technology, it doesn't always mean that it's going to be used that way. So, these interventions are used to create better things for people, but there are always someone who is in control of it that can shut it off. So, if the government decided, the people at the policy level interventions just decided that we're not going to do the big loud notification anymore that scares everybody when it turns on. We're just going to let the news handle it. How many people today regularly check the news? I feel like I don't have to because I know it will come up on my phone. But if they suddenly just decided to stop doing that, I would be kind of screwed. So, this is where I see and read some things about policy simulations. So, policy simulations is when the government can use technology to simulate the outcomes of different policy options, which help policymakers to choose the most effective course of action. Like how they can test a theory to see if placing something new, like if building a new factory will affect the impact of different environments. They can run like a simulation just to see if it would be worth building. So almost kind of like a video game. Like a game that I used to play is where you got to build a bridge, and it would actually tell you if the supports and restraints and stuff you put in was actually helpful, and if it wasn't, the bridge would collapse after a vehicle went over it. So this is just a small thing that allows people at the policy level intervention place put our small things into motion and give them a little quick test just to make sure they're not going to hurt anybody or have like a horrible environmental impact or even financial. And I would like to say thank you for watching this video, anybody who's still here at the end. I'm not expecting a lot of people to watch this, but it was kind of fun to make. It's not often assignments are done as fun videos to be able to post on the internet without like strict guidelines. But that's just how the world is changing with technology. A lot of teachers and professors are moving more towards technology-based homework assignments, even now. As I go through school, I see more and more teachers have at least one online aspect to their course, which usually involves posting something online. So I hope you enjoy this video. I know there wasn't a lot going on, but I appreciate you watching it until the end. Also, another thing that's really unpredictable about the internet is what you're going to see. Like, for this whole recording, my wonderfully stupid dog has been trying to eat my microphone. So for the last, minute, that's what you're going to get to enjoy. Because I had to listen to it and edit it out. What is it? You've been trying to eat it for the past minute. No, he's... No, he's... Get down.